Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to Thoughts to Think About. I'm Liz.
I'm Efrain.
I'm Reid.
And we've got some thoughts for you to think about today.
Welcome back. I hope all of you kind of sing along to the drums. Because I do it every time.
I try so hard not to, I'm just such a sound person that,
You're just so sound. Solid.
I'm so sound. But in my head, I'm just like, doo-doo-doo-doo. And that's the first time I've ever let it out.
Yeah.
And I feel a little lighter now.
Yeah, it's cathartic. Yeah, I hope you all do that at home. Reid, do you feel that way or no?
Yeah.
He's got a big old question mark on his face.
A little bit, yeah.
Let me know. I want to. I'll get your thoughts too. Let me know. At home, people at home, how you feel about our intro and our outro and everything, because it was a big consideration when I was, kind of finding what our sound was supposed to be, because, just anything with melody sounded or with really strong melody sounded really. It put too much vibe on the show.
Icky,
and it just didn't work. Yeah, how do y'all feel about the drums? As far as
they just are.
They just are.
That's it.
Wow. Snaps for Reid.
Wow.
That's very deep. I enjoy it. There's several pods that I listen to, and they change their theme song per
every week?
season.
Oh, every season.
And I hate it.
Oh, interesting.
I hate it because that's not. And one of them, it's just too long and it drags on. And it's all right, cut in right here. Let's talk. Come on, let's get going. And it's just it's the inconsistency in a key, a melody. It sets a tone that sometimes we're super chill in our episodes and other times we're screaming.
Yeah.
So I think the drums.
Who screams?
It's
Nobody's
not me.
screaming.
Sometimes Reid screams.
Screaming.
I like the drums.
Yeah, I think it has. It's light enough because it's really active and kind of jazzy, and so it kind of has this
You like jazz.
kind of fun vibe, but it doesn't put too much character on it. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
to I don't know. I think it keeps it fairly neutral. So I don't know if y'all feel the same way about it at home. But
let us know.
I hope you enjoy it. If not, too bad, because it's gonna stay that way. So
Get your own podcast.
Get your own podcast. Do you guys listen to other podcasts frequently?
No, I only
you
listen to
mentioned
us.
a couple that you listen to,
Yeah.
but
Only us.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to others.
Oh, okay.
Yikes.
What's your favorite podcast to listen to? Other than ours, of course.
So I.
We're just gonna nerd out and
I like a lot of rewatch podcasts.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm into right now.
The One
My
Tree
wife
Hill
is
one
into that a lot as well.
Yeah, she's into that one.
So I actually never watched One Tree Hill.
Right, we've discussed this.
Yeah. But I did watch The Hills in Laguna Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have not gone into the Laguna Beach rewatch, but I am listening to the Hills rewatch podcast.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Part 2. Sometimes it's bad, but other times it's really interesting to behind the scenes of this scripted reality show. There's also another rewatch podcast. I'm really outing my childhood right now. So there's a show, I don't know if y'all remember this, called Girls Next Door.
Nope.
No. It's so inappropriate for a child to watch.
Yeah.
Yo.
Do you know the show?
I haven't seen the show, but I know what that term means. The girl next door. It's got a lot of connotations.
It's got
connotations.
connotations.
Yeah. So it just follows it's another reality show. It just follows the life of Hugh Hefner's girlfriends back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And as a preteen,
Man, that's real cool.
Yeah, my sister and I watched it together, and
Yikes, dude.
it was real bad. And so we're listening
There's
to the
a rewatch podcast for that.
Yeah, they're going through it, and it's two of the
no.
girlfriends that were there, and it's interesting as an adult listening to it versus remembering watching it through my childhood eyes.
Yeah.
And how just so inappropriate it was for me to watch it as a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Even
wild.
my sister, who was 16. She should not have been watching it. And so as an adult, they're going through like
Really, should anyone be watching it?
no
It's
one
not
should.
valuable.
Honestly, it was not like they really didn't show inappropriate things.
Yeah.
But it's just the basis of
What's going on?
what
in
it
the
is.
story,
Yeah. So listening to the podcast is interesting because they go through like each episode and they're like, that entire argument was like scripted. That was not real. So it's interesting to
Kind of cool.
listen to it. But
That's how reality TV shows
Yeah.
are. Like, there's a lot of stuff that happens that's just like they're told to do that.
right.
You know,
right.
to create drama,
Like all the
manufacture.
Kim Kardashian clips. I've never watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians or any of their shows, but like all the clips of her like reacting to something dramatically that's like so insignificant. You know,
My
I
favorite.
don't know if
Do
that's
that and
real.
Just amp it up a little bit more.
Just be a little more sad, please.
My
Can you go ahead and
favorite is
cry?
when she like they're in for the Kardashians. They're in Bali.
Okay.
Is that a place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And they are. She like drops in her diamond earring in the ocean, and she's like walking around crying. She's like, "I lost my diamond earring in the ocean." And her sister from far away is like, "Kim, there are people that are dying." It's so good.
That's so
it's
funny.
good.
So when
Brutal.
you listen to a rewatch podcast, do you rewatch with the podcast or do you just listen to the podcast?
I just listened to the podcast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't have the patience to go one episode a week.
Yeah.
So Aubrey and I were trying to watch The Office with the Office Ladies rewatch podcast because they were
Yeah.
like, I feel like the first rewatch podcast, or like they were like the big one
The
that
big
kind
one.
of
They were
got
one of the biggest, yeah.
that got everything kind of like sparked and everybody going. We had to stop. We couldn't do it anymore. Like it was good watching an episode and then listening to the podcast because they were producing them like one a week, and so it was like kind of like what's the word? Not budgeting. I can't think of the word. It's like pacing.
Rationing?
Oh.
Yeah, something like that. Wow, my brain.
Rationing.
Wow.
We're budgeting our episodes. But man, honestly, like they're just not very good at it. Like it was so annoying. Like I told my wife, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I cannot listen to this podcast anymore. It's just an hour and a half of like my brain melting.
Oh
It's
my
just
gosh.
bad.
Wow.
Because it would always be like they would take questions from the audience, and it's like, was that scripted? Like literally every week, it was like 4 or 5 things. It was like,
Yeah.
was this scripted? It's
Was
like,
this
please
scripted?
just stop asking. Just like answering those questions. It's like,
Just like naturally answer it.
yeah. And they would go off on
Right.
tangents all the time, like about things that are not relevant at all, or about like, oh, I went to
Hate
I went to
tangents.
a knitting group with my friends. It's different if it's like, okay, I'm going to listen to Angela Kinsey and Jenna Fisher just talk
Live
about life,
podcast,
right?
yeah.
But
Right,
this is
yeah.
a rewatch podcast, and I want them to talk about the episode that's
Yeah.
in the title, not like, hey, I was gardening yesterday. Oh, really? How did that go?
Yeah.
Well,
it's like-
Reid, make your own rewatch podcast then.
Yeah.
If you don't
Okay.
like the way they do it, make your own.
when we hit 200 episodes, I'm going to start a rewatch podcast where we rewatch our podcast.
Oh, no.
And we talk
I
about
like
it.
it. I like it.
And then 200 episodes later,
Yeah.
a rewatch
yeah.
podcast
Do the next
of
set.
the rewatch podcast.
We're building
Okay.
a franchise. This is an
Right.
empire. Yeah,
Wow.
I am not into the rewatch podcast thing. I think it's a cool idea and it's a smart
Yeah.
business move as for the people who are doing them. It's like, hey, people are interested in this stuff. It's just not for me. I don't know. Like I'll listen to people talk about behind the scenes stuff like in kind of a short thing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's just it. Maybe I just haven't found the really
one.
interesting one for me.
Yeah, your
but-
podcast soulmate.
Yeah, and so I just
Ew.
don't.
I don't like that. That was bad.
Podcast soulmate.
Just looking for the one.
I'm looking for the one. Yeah, I haven't found the one as far as podcasts go. So I don't know. Not really my jam, but more power to you guys.
Yeah.
There's one
And more power
called-
to the office ladies. Hey, I mean,
I mean, do your
look,
thing.
they're doing their
make
thing.
a bunch of money off of it.
Like I said,
don't
they're
care.
making money. It's a good business move.
But
if
I
I had
unfollow.
a
Can't
show,
relate.
I can't relate. I've never made a good business move in my life. So yeah.
Yeah, I unfollowed them. I just couldn't do it. That was the only rewatch podcast I've tried. My wife, however, is like watching the Boy Meets World rewatch podcast, the One Tree Hill rewatch podcast. I think there might be one more that she's doing.
Probably.
I don't know what it is.
I told her about the Gilmore Girls one, and we both just agreed that it was bad. and
Oh,
couldn't-
really?
Oh, she
Yeah.
did. I think she did start that one, and she
Just-
couldn't.
No,
she couldn't
it's
hang
just
on.
really poorly done.
Yeah,
That's sad.
I
but she
know.
said the Boy Meets World one and the One Tree Hill one are both really well done. They don't
Okay.
have like the main character on there, like what's his name?
Chad Michael Murray in One Tree Hill.
Yeah, he's not on the podcast. It's like two of the girls from the podcast. Are on
Three
there.
of the girls.
Three of the thing. Okay,
Yeah.
three of the girls.
The main
Boy
girls.
Meets World isn't like Corey, the guy who plays Corey. It's like a couple of other people on there.
Oh, okay.
So, I kind of wanted to watch the Psych Rewatch podcast or listen to the Psych Rewatch podcast, but it's like, I'm not sure if I want to. It's Juliet and Lassie, which is Timothy Omenson and
Yeah, this is all you, man. I got nothing
You're
here.
alone.
I got nothing here for this.
I can't think of her name.
Okay, we trust you.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's them, and so I was like, I don't know if I want to listen to that. It doesn't have Sean and
The-
Gus.
the
It's
guys,
like it doesn't
yeah.
have them. Although
Yeah.
they've been on, periodically, but
Right,
it's
right.
not their podcast. So.
Yeah.
There's also another one. It's pretty lighthearted. Like it's nice if you like to listen to things like in the background while you're working. It's called Thoughts to Think.
Ah.
Thoughts to Think About.
Things, the things.
Pods to pod about.
Don't like that.
I love that y'all just both said stupid things, and then I say a stupid thing, and you're like, "That's dumb, Efrain.
Did I
That
say
was so
anything?
stupid."
Did I say anything? That was
Exactly,
Liz. It was
exactly,
Liz.
Reid. It was all
The
in your
vibes
tone
that came
and the
out
vibe
of
that you
you,
sent out was
it
just.
was the same.
It was so rude.
I'm not alone.
It was
okay.
so. It was so hateful.
You were
So
so
hateful.
far after, like we had done it at the same
We were
time.
done.
and we had
We were
moved on.
done.
The
Look,
vibe had moved.
Give me a
past-
chance, okay?
You
Give me a chance.
strung it
No,
along.
chance time is over.
Strung it along
Listen,
forever.
I'm just a little slow, okay? I'm just a little slower, okay? Just give me a chance. This is
You
my
said
moment. This was my moment, and you ruined it. Okay, I have a story. I have a story to tell. It's not that different of a story that I've told in the past, because it's exactly the same story that I've told in the past.
Why are you
because
telling
Wait,
it then?
is this
listen,
about the
listen.
alien?
No,
The purple
listen.
light?
God, not that
Good
story
reference.
again.
Good reference. No, I got home the other day and I took off my shoe
No, Efrain.
and a little leg
No
fell
way.
out.
Why? Why? Why?
If you didn't listen to the episode, I a while back I got home and I found bug parts in my shoe after I had worn the shoe.
You have a problem.
It was a roach body and
Body yaddy.
body yada yada, and it happened again. So
Somebody send Efrain a smoke bomb or
yeah,
something.
dude. So
Some roach traps.
yeah, it happened, and Meredith was like, "Yeah, we're bombing the house. This is ridiculous." So like doing a roach bomb or whatever.
We're bombing the
We're
house.
bombing the house. We're blowing it up.
Nuke
Forget
it.
Nuke the thing.
survive.
No, I mean because we do it every now and then. We've referenced like in Texas, the tree roaches
Yes.
are just everywhere. It's an
Starting
old
to
house.
question that though.
Old house.
They're only
they get
in Efrain's
They're
shoe.
only in
Right.
Efrain's shoe. Yeah. Anyway, it happened again, and I didn't even notice it this time. Last time I remember I said my socks were bunched up.
Yeah.
And I felt it, so I
Yeah.
kind of wiggled it around. This time I didn't notice it at all. Like I just had my shoes on and just did my day. Like
Got
a
dad
whole
brain.
day. A whole day went by.
Like sock shoe.
Sock shoe always.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, no.
Well, just making sure. I
No,
don't know
I
if
mean-
you have like the Birks that are closed toed.
No, yeah, no, I don't have those, and I have just if I'm gonna wear sandals, I'll wear sandals.
Let the dogs out.
Let the dogs out. I don't care. You can hate me for it. It's fine. But yeah, no, it happened again, and so I just thought the podcast should know. Just wanted to put it out there.
Speaking of podcasts, what other podcasts do you guys listen to?
Oh my gosh, that was intense.
Gee whiz.
Reid.
Efrain with the gross stories again.
Well, you're welcome.
You're the one that smushes your roaches with a bare
With your
foot.
bare
We don't have to
Barefoot.
go back here. We've
Disgusting.
been here. We don't have to go
Raw
back.
dog.
Literally
it's
disgusted. That's so nasty, dude.
We're not going back. I
Nope.
can't.
Nope.
I can't fully
nope,
jump there.
Nope.
So
Nope.
then, what was your reaction post carcass?
Oh, I mean, it's about the same. Oh, that's pretty gross. And I clean it out, pop the shoe, hit it against the wall or something, get all this stuff out, and throw it all away. You know.
Do you like
It's-
leave your shoes outside? Why are
No.
they making their home in
No,
there?
it's just in like it's just out. I have usually like a little foot shoe, not foot, a little foot holder, a shoe holder. In
He's got
in my closet door.
mannequins where he keeps his clothing.
My
He
feet.
doesn't hang
His
them up
feet
in the
are like
closet.
click and lock in.
Yeah.
He just like undoes it.
Anyway, my shoes were not put away, and so they were out, and so I guess they were just clammy enough, you know, to
they're
to-
cozy.
to feel cozy for the little roach. So. Real gross. Sorry for that, everyone. But again, it happened again, and I just
You're
needed
out
to.
yourself, so
Oh no, I don't care that it happened to me, but I'm sorry that you had to hear it. You know, so
you chose to tell everyone.
right. But I'm
he's
sorry.
not sorry about it.
How sorry can you be? You
I
brought it
mean,
up.
I did it, and I wanted to do it, but I am sorry about it. So
Sorry about the effects.
So-
Walter has found the joy in like playing with bugs.
Mm-hmm.
So like he'll catch June bugs, but we have a fence in our backyard now. So I just let him like roam free, and he will find roaches and he'll find beetles,
dang,
and he
Like big ones.
Yeah, and I know when he's caught one because they'll be alive,
in his
full
mouth.
alive in his mouth, and he just kind of like paces back and forth, and I'm like, let's go inside, come on. And he'll go and he'll just like he'll spit him out and he'll like roll his body on it.
Yep.
And he'll like smush it with his paw and he'll like pick it up and like toss it in the air.
Yeah.
It's like an intense process. I'm like, this poor bug has just died like a horrible death.
dogs are so.
At least
freaking
he's
funny.
not bringing them inside for you. Like he's like spitting them out outside.
No, he brings it inside to finish playing with it.
Oh gosh.
I just like washed the giant rug in our living room, and that's his favorite place. He brings them and he just like flops his body on the bug, like on the rug, and he just like goes nuts, and it's disgusting.
What a
Just
freak.
Imagine in Walter's head there's just like WWE announcers. So he's like
from the top rope.
he just body slams a roach.
Yeah, it's it's a sight to see.
Dang,
He enjoys
that's
it.
so nasty. Dogs are gross, but Reed's grosser because he steps on him with his
He
foot.
is- yeah.
It's barefoot.
He's like, we're going back
Look,
there.
I'm going back though.
I do what has to be done. Okay.
My Lola does the same thing with bugs. She doesn't like play with them like as like forcefully, but like if she's pretty small. If there's a bug inside, she'll like go after it and just like play with it and fight it,
Yeah.
you know, and like
Yeah.
it's hilarious. Frances doesn't really care. She's like looks at it, sniffs it, and is like, yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
our dogs don't really play with bugs.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Our little dog Richie, he plays with kibble.
Oh, that's true.
He will take like one piece of kibble and bring it to another. Like if I'm in my office, he'll take a piece of kibble into the office.
And he'll like prance into
Yeah.
any space or like
Yeah.
you know, skip into any space.
Right. Yeah.
With his little kibble. and,
He's a
like,
very jolly dog. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he'll like throw it in the air. Like he'll take it in his mouth and he'll throw it and he'll go and like pounce on it and then he'll grab it and he'll like shake his head back and forth and then he'll throw it up in the air and go chase it down. It's like he's playing with it like Walter does with a
Yeah,
bug, but
yeah.
it's a piece of food.
That's
you know?
so
It's-
funny.
and it's like it's kibble, like it's tiny. It's not
little
like
bitty.
he's
Right.
chewing on something. You know, it's so weird.
He doesn't like to play with like toys though. Like there's like very few like toys that he plays with. I don't know why. Well,
He
a lot
just-
of it is because our big dog destroys toys.
Yeah.
You can't have two dogs and have two sets of toys. It's like all the toys are both of
It
theirs.
doesn't really
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just trade.
Yeah. Your little dog just really enjoys like terrorizing people,
He doesn't like Liz.
specifically me.
Yikes. My bad.
Big oof. So what type of steps are you taking in your life now, Efrain, to rid yourself of this
I was like, where's this going?
epidemic that's happening in your life? Let's
First,
talk about it.
Bomb the
Okay.
house.
This is a podcast. Let's go there.
we're-
Come on.
Let's go there. Let's get deep.
I
Let's
hate
get
when people are
serious.
like, "It's fine. This is our podcast. Come on, just lay it all out." I'm like,
Oh my
no, there's
gosh.
still
No, there's
hundreds
still
of
boundaries.
people
There's still
that
boundaries.
are listening. God.
Yeah, bombing the house. I stopped leaving my shoes out so that doesn't happen at least. Yeah, it's mostly bombing the house.
When did this happen?
I want to say like Monday or Tuesday.
Ewy.
So
So a whole week.
yeah, Nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Real nasty. Reid, you wanted to jump back to podcasts a while ago. I don't know if you really wanted to jump back to podcasts or not.
It's mostly a joke of let's not talk about this anymore.
Yeah, right. Do you have any other podcasts that you're like really into?
I
I don't think you mentioned what your favorite podcast was.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I did not. But you didn't either.
I didn't.
You said thoughts to pod think.
Bots
Yeah.
So go ahead and root yours.
Yeah, so the podcast that I have been listening to the longest and that I listen to the most is called Not Another D&D Podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I do have to give a disclaimer.
Oh God.
The very first episode, the very, very first episode is so like 10 minutes in, it hits you with like an extremely like raunchy joke. But the rest of the podcast is not like that. So if you can get past like that first
straight
joke,
out
like
the
10
gate.
minutes in, the rest of it's pretty chill.
It's all pretty funny, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's funny, but it's
pretty
like I'm the whole, if you listen to it and you go, wow, Reed's really into some weird stuff. Like that's the one joke that you have to get past. And then the rest of it's like very well made. But it's a D&D podcast. And so it's like a play, like they play D&D on the podcast.
yeah.
It's really fun. They do some other stuff that I listen to as well, like, but it's all centered around D&D. So it's really good. I listened to The Rise and Fall of Mars Hill. That's over.
Yeah. Are they still releasing bonus episodes?
No, I think they stopped.
Finally,
They did a bunch.
There was
Yeah.
just so many.
And the bonus episodes were kind of annoying. I
Yeah.
wasn't a big fan of all that.
Yeah. It's a good,
Sorry.
generally, podcast, though.
The series itself was really good,
Yep.
really well done. But the bonus episodes it was too much.
I listen to Jonathan's podcast sometimes.
Oh, Swing for Contact. Swing for
Yeah.
Contact.
So
What a good friend.
I honestly haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet. I need to do that. I don't listen to a ton of podcasts. That's
Right.
what I actually was going to say
Right.
when it got back to me. I don't really listen to a ton. I've listened to a couple of like worship leader podcasts. There's one by Churchfront. I think there's
Yeah.
might just be called the Churchfront
Churchfront, yeah.
podcast, worship leader podcast. Worship Tutorials has one. Those guys, they're kind of cool. I listened to one. This is kind of tying back into the creative stuff I was talking about, before. But I would listen to one called Creative Pep Talk.
Oh,
And
you sent me some of their stuff.
yeah, it's so the guy, his name is Andy J Pizza, and his name really kind of exemplifies the kind of person he is. Like he's pretty
AJ Pizza.
AJ Pizza. He's a pretty goofy dude, like pretty silly guy. And so if you're not into that, that might be a struggle for you. He's got ADD for sure. He does a really good job on the podcast. He's done it for a long time, and he's really good. But yeah, he's a pretty goofy guy. And so anyway, he kind of takes creativity and figuring out how to make like your creative like thing you do, make it a career and a job and stuff. And so
It's cool.
So he talks about that, and it's like relates it to kind of whimsical fantasy stories a lot of times, and like the hero's journey generally. So it's kind of cool in that way. So I listen to that one. I used to listen to that one a lot. I don't listen to it too much anymore. But so those are kind of the ones I listen to. I guess I will listen to Crime Junkies with my wife.
Oh yeah.
My wife is a big fan of Crime Junkies, and it's pretty good. And the little theme song for that one is pretty fun. But it's like it's got crime.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It's good and it's catchy, and so but it gets you in the right vibe. So
I
I'm a
don't-
big fan of Crime Junkies, but yeah.
I don't think I've never been into like a crime podcast. Like I've never listened to one.
Well, crime's just gonna happen around you, and you're not gonna be ready. So I'm so sorry for you.
Crime's not going to
Come
stop.
at me,
okay?
crime.
I'm gonna hard segue.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna tell you a story. I was sitting in the car, and just things were things happening around like crime. You know?
Okay.
Okay, so you're sitting there and there's crime happening.
Yeah. The crime is Reid's driving.
Wow. Wow.
That's very rude.
I'm
I'm a great driver. Okay.
I am alive. I will say that I am
Okay.
alive.
First, I want to know what instance we're talking about and why.
Why did you bring this
Reid's
up?
very upset right now.
Go ahead. Continue.
It's when we were last week. We were all going somewhere to a talent show.
Right.
Which we don't have the time
No, or the power to talk about
that. Lord,
the strength.
The strength we had.
Yeah.
Jeez. But in his defense, I do get car sick just already. If I'm not sitting in the front. So I already knew, like, all right, little car, like, I already know I'm getting into. It's fine. I know how to cope and, coping mechanisms. I get that.
Excited.
Yes, it was like rush hour. So there's a lot going on.
That's the point I wanted to point out. It's rush hour. It's rush hour.
She hasn't finished reading.
I know. I have to defend
the woman
myself.
finish.
I have to defend myself. Let me defend myself. I want to defend myself. It's rush hour. We're going through 610, the 610-59 interchange on the West Loop. That is the worst traffic in the country. Honestly, it's horrible.
It's really bad.
And people you have to take what you want, okay? No one's going to give it to you. You have to take it, okay?
And take defense. It he did, because it was like zoom and we just went like he just gunned it, and then like on the brakes, and then in and out of lanes. We got there on time.
I will say my rush hour driving is a lot different than my
general
casual
leisurely driving.
Right, yeah.
Driving, yeah. But I met at Reid's house with his wife Aubrey, and I rode with them. We all went to go get food, and they're just talking, and I'm in the back kind of like going through it a little bit, and I'm just like trying to like breathe and focus on like
that is so
like,
funny. You
center,
got actually sick.
like genuinely like car sick. And because we were meeting Efrain and his wife Meredith to go eat, and I'm like I am hungry. So like I have to eat. And so they're like, so Liz or Lizard, how are you? And I'm like, it was really quiet, and I go, I'm actually trying. I'm just like having an issue back here. My car's sick, and he goes, oh really? Like the car's just going in and out.
Oh really?
I think what really made her sick is that I got a call on that drive from our tax guy, and so I had to talk to him about taxes for like 15 minutes. So that's probably what made her sick, was just all the numbers.
No, I was able to focus on something else because we talked about the shoes that Aubrey wore.
Aubrey bought.
I cannot talk about that.
That was great. She won.
Yeah, she won the shoes. Right.
But yeah, so once we finally got on solid ground, ate pizza, my body was like, nah, shouldn't have ate. And then you
saw the talent show and you were like,
then I saw the talent show,
and then it was really coming up for sure.
So much happening. But I will say, on the way back, it was a lot less like chaotic than on the way there, because less people. Again, that's why I was like, there was traffic. I get it.
Right, you got it. I'm telling you, if you haven't driven in Houston on 610 at rush hour, you just don't understand. It's a different animal.
Next time I'll just bring like a
drive safe, everyone.
Puke bag,
it's important to make sure that you're driving appropriately for the time and the place that is around you and the people that are around you, and just to make sure that you're obeying traffic laws and
keep going. It's good. No, finish it out. Commit.
Just be good. Do good.
Goodbye.